G'day, today I'm going to play Mage and Monsters, and what we're going to do is see if we can get it through on impossible mode. So, what the first thing I'm going to show is just this is basically my layout of upgrades, heavily focusing on archer benefits. We do have health in there as well, and gold. There's only 1,200 you can spend, so you kind of have to shift it when you go back to different styles. I'm just going to go with Efero as the guy, as he's the only one I haven't finished the game with yet, so may as well. And he's going to give me a allied range units have plus 60 max range. So impossible means that we're going to have the difficulty escalating after different points, and we're going to start with archers. So my strategy is going to try and be to use range a fair bit, because they can hit guys all over the map. And you may notice that with melee guys, they do get bunched up and they may not be able to reach the other people around. So we're going to stack a little bit heavy with archers. Won't worry about that yet. The other thing that we want to try and do is hold on to money. You can see that you get more gold with bonuses as you go up. So if we can gain those bonuses, it is a major benefit to us. But you've also got to try and calculate at what point are you going to lose because you're taking those bonuses. So we've got to be sort of focusing on that. Now, I don't want warriors. The footmen are... I think they're too easily killed. These guys have reduced damage against range, so they're not too bad for sort of taking a hit. We will go max units just to increase these guys in our... Like, so we've got all of our guys available coming in for us. We're trying to get good use out of our spell as well. Not necessarily the best spell. Summon melee is quite good, so we're going to bring that in. We have over 100. We should be able to easily get these guys, especially with our new spell, so we won't waste money at this point. You can see the range that I've got from the double bonus of the range. This game did only just come out as well. At the time of recording this, I did a Steam Next Fest video for it and enjoyed it so much that, yeah, bought it day of release. Big fan. I've definitely sunk a few hours into it, about 11 hours or so at this point, I think. Okay, so I could get tier 2 units at this stage, but that would drop me below 100. So I'm getting 10 gold because I haven't done any upgrades yet, or I haven't done that particular upgrade. And I do think that we can still beat this level. Now, this is the last of the 50% upgrade levels. Everything after here is going to get a little bit harder, as I go to, what, 75% for the next few levels. Really don't want Elven Warriors, so we'll go the Summon Ranged. 242. I think we can beat this wave as well with what we've got. So we'll red hot go. Let's get these guys up the top where we're a little bit weaker. Take the archers. Okay. So we've got 20 ghouls coming in. They have 65 health. It would mean that each have to take 10 shots from an archer. We'll get rid of this guy, because again, taking... upping our max units would drop us below 300. So, we'll need to get down 6. Yep. So we'll bring in all the archers. So again, this is sort of playing a little bit dangerously, because we've got... You can see all these... Oh, luckily these guys are pulling up to... So what we're going to do is wait till we've got... Sort of all these guys will descend on there, and we'll sacrifice our summons to try and hit more of them with the spell. Lovely. I do like Chain Lightning as a spell in here, and again, it's only Elven Warriors they're offering us, so not interested. 18 guys against our 30. 185 health, so there's and a lot of damage, so they're going to single shot all of my archers as they get there, so we are going to have to sort of pull underneath to I think to have a chance here. So we'll go for 2, so let's bring in more archers as well. Doesn't mean we've maxed out again, so we'll drop to get rid of that guy, we'll bring back one of him, and then we'll bring back our 2 archers, and we'll go. You can see the archers are doing alright work on these guys. Again, let's just try and get the warriors in the way. Only one of the big guys has made it. And even once they do make it, they've got a lot of guys they've got to work through, so... Always, if they offer you gold, you take gold, and this is the reason why. You get 60 gold here. At most for the footman, you get 6 footmen plus 11, which is... well, I guess it's 11 gold, but you can see here 60. If I just choose units or spell, that costs me 45, so that's 15 cheaper than getting the and the footman would have given me plus 11. So I still wouldn't be making a profit on that, even minus the 11. And if I pick a unit when I do that, I get money again. So definitely if it offers you money, always take the money. 64 skeleton warriors. If we go increase our max units and take another lot, and like you can see here, so we are getting 17. So it ends up being 77 gold that we get for picking that, as opposed to well, minus 45. Minus 45 is 15 plus 17, so we get 32 gold plus archers instead of getting the footman plus 11. And the archers is obviously what we prefer, so that's my logic into that. Hopefully that made sense. Now potentially it is I'm better off waiting to hold the Toxic Blast until my frontline guys get there, because these guys you can see all converge very heavily onto a point of where the Malik guys are, because they always go for the guys closest to them. And we should have them nice and cleanly before they get to the archers. We'll go for even more archers. Okay, so we're over 500. Now, we can definitely do this next wave, because it's even less. It was 64 skeleton warriors last time. This time it's 32 plus 24 mages. The mages are going to be ranged, but we can also really bully them pretty easily. We can also put out, like, say, our melee guys behind them to sort of make them turn around. Spend less time focusing on the guys that come in the other way. Then the actual, like, archers, just an archer versus archer battle there to make nice quick work of them. Take the warriors. Okay, so 663. We've now got a monarch coming against us, but we do have a lot of guys, so we're going to pay for the privilege of having more units, so all of our guys currently here come. We can also spend that to get the next tier, and we'll still stay above 500, so we're still going to get our bonus, and we get our 1 extra bandit. We'll get rid of 1 warrior, and we'll bring in a bandit in his place. We'll get these guys back there just to sort of harass those guys even momentarily. We're going to use that to try and kill some of these guys at the back, because the archers are more our problem than the guys up front. So again, we've got to use our spells to try and pick off these guys. Done. Now you can see that was a little less convincing than our previous ones. That's okay, because we are attempting to now sort of push our upgrades a bit more. Alright, 240 of these guys, and we've got 60 guys we drop all but one of them, we can bring in our alchemists who do splash damage, so they're quite good. Gladiator can do some nice damage too. We probably want to get our spells leveling up soon as well. So, unfortunately, our spells aren't strong enough to actually kill these guys in one hit yet, but so our spells aren't as impactful as possibly we'd like at this stage. But even like knocking these guys down a little bit, too bad. But you can see there's a lot of them versus the archers. So what we're gonna have to do, try and hit them in a group, try and turn them around a little bit. You can see we've now split the army, so a lot of them have gone sort of further back. We can try and pick on the guys that are actually getting closer to our army. We've possibly got the number advantage now. Should at least get one more set of our spells. Try and get these guys here to block the top guys. And again, we'll be able to use our... off a few more. Wasn't pretty, but that's definitely the flirting that you can see that we do because we're trying to hold on to 5 sets of gold. Alright, so we'll go for our apprentices. We will go for max troops to get all of the guys that we currently have on the board. We will go for spells unlocked as well. There's no point in leveling that twice. We could go for this. We do also want to have the money to go up again. We're only up against 13 guys this time. Everyone has 200 health, so we'll see how we do. Try and slow them down. You can see there's not too many. When there's not that many, it means that my archers can focus as well. There we go. Got them nice and easy. Alright, we will go for more apprentices. 750, so if I took that, we'd drop 20 under our 5. I think that that's doable anyway, without needing to do that. So we'll hold for the time being. We'll drop those 2 guys out. We'll bring in our apprentices. Because all we got to do is just make sure we can pick on those witches, and we're an army of range guys, so it shouldn't be too tricky. Part of the waves at the moment is we're attempting to win. We're going for the knights because they have the reduced damage against range, so they might hold up a bit better. Alright, jumping into group 4, the monarchs we should be able to easily take care of. 4 more guys, so I'm not even going to spend the 40 just in case we can use that 40 to get a better upgrade next time. So I'm pretty confident that our 70 guys can beat 5. You can see they are slicing through our guys like butter. But even just basically slowing them down that little bit is knocking them down. We'll put 3 guys behind them so they turn around slightly, slow them down a little bit more. Only 2 of them are going to get close. Slow them both down again. Alright, we'll go to summon melee, because that'll mean we get a more instant sort of summon there. Okay, that's a bit more of a hefty wave there, but you can see the ghouls and the witches don't have much health, so it's only really 10 ogres that we've got to worry about in that. We've got 800. Get to tier 5, we need to get 200 more, so we probably want to hold if we can. I'm going to go the max unit, so I'm going to spend the 40 just to get the other 6 guys in there, because I think that wouldn't hurt to have them around. I'm going to pull these guys to the middle so everyone converges on that same one spot, and we can get a nice big hit of everyone. Really spread that poison love around. See, there's a fair few making it over this time. As long as the majority of the ogres are dead, I think we should be right to pick off the rest. Alright, we'll go the chain lightning. It gives us the most money of our options too. Alright, so that's a lot of health coming at us. It would drop us below. I think we've got to do it. So we'll bring in now level 5s. We do want to get this one as soon as possible too. I'm not sure it's worth like sort of ditching all of our money, but see, this could be definitely a bit tougher of a wave than what we've seen. It is only the 2 guys back here. And we'll drop those 3 guys to harass them, slightly divide the troops to have a couple of guys go backwards. You see a lot of guys are making it forward though. We are slowly picking them off. They are sort of grouped together. If we can get these guys just in front to stop some of the melees taking hits. Gonna be tight. It's just purely the amount of guys. They won't be able to target them fast enough, really. Gold always. Okay, 240 skeletons, so we're going to have pure numbers coming against us on this one. Take the hit, but it means that we'll be well under our gold earnings, and we don't get anything as well. Like, I won't gain guys for picking that up, but it also seems like a waste to start picking units and being under the amount we would otherwise get. But we'll go for it. And we won't buy... bring in some Dwarven Constructs. We'll stay at 200. Those guys can take a beating, so... we'll just let everyone sort of converge. Get a nice big hit. Probably should have lightninged the actual group that were poisoned, because we would have killed them. But now what we want to do is focus on the actual archers themselves. Get those guys out of here. You can see how well he's going to sort of survive, especially if we can get rid of a lot of those archers and those hits. Again, we'll hit some knights in the middle, try and get all those guys converge on them. Archers are doing good work at picking these guys off. Again, we want to get rid of the range guys at the back here. Good. We'll take the Cyclopses. We're always going to take the Cyclopses when they get offered to us. I won't increase our max units, actually. Knowing that if I buy one, I'm not going to go under 300, so I'm not going to lose a level here. And what I'm going to do is go for the Dwarven Constructs, purely because the way that you can see that I'm building my team is to have a lot of archers. And so the pure job of these big guys is going to be to get in the way. He's 520 health, just to sort of slow them down so that all my ranged guys have a bit like 520 health worth of time to kill him. You can see those constructs are at the top still sort of fighting along. Alright, definitely the Cyclops. Okay, so we could spend 80 without losing any losing any percentages. So again, we're going to go Dwarven Constructs. We will say goodbye to 4 of those guys, and we will bring in all of them. And just the insane range that these guys have got with their 60 plus 60%. Alright. I'm going to take the Toxic Blast because I'm going to get more money for it. And it also means that it's going to stop asking me if I want the Toxic Blast, and it'll give me more chances of actually getting offered Cyclopses, which is what we want. Alright, 623, so we're up over 100 again. So the first thing that we're going to do is choose all. We're going to take our Cyclops, and we are going to say increase our max units so we get them all on the board. What do we got? 160 health and 260. Our Cyclops is already doing 98 damage, so they can wail out these guys pretty quick. So fewer numbers on those guys. And you notice that too, that I'm not currently upgrading my guys at all. I'm not necessarily going for individual stronger stats for these guys. We're just going for the numbers to try and knock them down. The more guys on the board, the better we'll do. I mean, the problem you can see with some of these guys is they're getting stuck behind the walls of troops. The other thing, though, is that because the Cyclopses, the Archers, and everyone are starting so early, what we can do is we can change the movement speed of all of our melee guys. Actually, not them, because they're so fast. All of our slower melee guys to just 150. Just get out there as fast as you can, because you're going to have the wall of guys behind you already, like, attacking. I mean, potentially we could also say go slower, because we want the wall to sort of... They don't have to be out so quick, but I don't see any disadvantage to them moving quickly. You want to upgrade the spells again? Maybe. What do we got? 77. So let's go units or spells. Cyclopses, units or spells. Dwarven constructs. Dwarven constructs. That'll be an instant summon as opposed to what we've got. It gives us a little bit more gold, though I do like frost giants. Depends on whether I intend on continuing to level those. I'm not sure I'm going to use the range guys too much. And then we'll do that to bring everyone in. There are going to be levels where we're going to see a lot of range guys at the back. And that's probably the main reason I am still wanting to update my my spells. Although you can see that it may not matter. Some of these waves can will take an absolute beating with that many Cyclopses in the mix. So we'll go more Dwarven constructs. Let's just keep buying guys, shall we? Cyclopses, Cyclops, Cyclops. Now we actually move into 40 for 20 max units, so we get a little bit cheaper for us. Alright, so we've got an Elder Dragon here, so you can have a look at how our system is going to impact against an Elder Dragon. Cyclops. So the other thing that we could do is upgrade our range units. We've already got 40% bonus from the shard buffs that we had from the start. Question is whether one of those upgrades is worth more than just having more guys on the field. At the moment, I'm going to go for guys on the field. Part of that is just that, like, having the amount of guys that, like, when they have to come over and start actually hitting us, they can. A lot of these guys can only hit one guy at once. So the more people that are on the board, the more spread their work is going to be. Gold. Sorry, almost went off book there. Construct, Cyclops. Cyclops, purchase, Cyclops. So we're up to 32 Cyclops here. I mean, I guess the slow's doing a little bit, but you can really see the constructs are having a hard time getting past them. And this is 240 guys, and they're getting nicely chewed up. Yeah, I mean, definitely they're going to get through the constructs here, so I don't know if that suggests that we should be looking at a few more. I don't think the constructs are necessarily going to benefit too much from lifesteal, because they're so slow when they hit. But you can see that these guys didn't even progress, like, they all died in this area here. And there's also 5 constructs stuck at the back here that haven't been able to get through. The curse of so many archers. Alright, we'll keep going. And it back again. You can see my spells aren't really doing anything at all at this point. Now, once we reach level 30, we will move on to where you don't get to, basically it's the point of no return. You don't ever get to come back to this page. At that point, we will use our remaining 500 gold that we've held on to allow us to sort of get our 50 bonus each round. We're up to 24 constructs. We're getting a few of them. Definitely would be math to work out at what point it's more beneficial to upgrade the spells rather than just buy more, but I think that this strategy is going to work anyway. Alright, so we are one guy over, so one dwarf can sit on the bench. These guys are probably some of the more dangerous. I mean, when it's going for more guys because they're sort of stronger, you can see how much of a bloodbath it just is. They can only attack so many guys. The real tricky ones are the dragons at the end, because they have a sort of an AoE damage, so they can sweepingly kill a fair few guys. See how we go with that. We'll buy more units. Let's get a whole party of Cyclopses in here. So you can see here, we've got 180 skeleton mages. Now they are going to go up against over 100 range dudes of mine as well. So it's just whether my guys are all going to focus on the same one to try and pick off. So we'll put some of these guys in the back. We'll use our, like, luckily our chain lightning does sort of like knock down a bunch. Whole bunch of constructs stuck at the back there. But I mean, these guys, the constructs are also doing AoE damage that are just like cutting through these guys. But that can sometimes be one of the harder levels if you've got a bad build that isn't catering to like a lot of range. Alright, Cyclopses, constructs. Oh, it's going to make me choose something different. Let's go Frost Giants. I don't think we had any. Oh, we had 2. Alright, max out. 5 Elder Dragons. So this will be one of the good tests. Again, we'll just pull, sort of like, make them just slow down a little bit, because you can see that even that turnaround, it's just sort of like really put some damage into one of them. Now they do AoE damage. They sort of do a cleave. So all of those constructs are getting hit like at a similar time, and they're still doing a really good job of holding them off. These poor constructs trying to work out how to maneuver through at the back there. Alright, so that's level 30. So there's our warning that we need to prepare for the end. And we get 160% difficulty once we knock through this. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pick more guys to be the wall, and we're going to pick more guys to be the damage. So we will have to buy another 20 spots. Maximum amount of guys that you can have is 300 as well, I believe. If you're curious and if you could just do this forever with like littler troops. Here we go. 90 Cyclops is what we're going for. 38 Dwarven Constructs. Let's see how we fare. Better than that Skeleton King, I'd say. At this point, I won't worry with my spells. I don't think there's anything coming in here that's a concern. Part of the benefit is the range. That bonus to range is really meaning that the Cyclopses don't have to step forward, and so there's not Cyclopses getting stuck at the back that can't sort of do anymore. Like, you can see the range guys are now trying to advance forward here, and they're just getting decimated. And even if they reach the wall, you can see how many guys they've got to destroy in order to make it through. And even when they do that, they're going to release a whole bunch more of constructs that are going to come for them. So, I mean, we could probably chuck some spells back here. A few more little archers in the front row. Sometimes with these summons, it's even just about misdirecting guys. That if you can get them to sort of like turn back, like you can see how many guys we're pulling back here, that we've just sort of like isolated their front row of guys. You can play that a little bit as a strategy. I think at this point, for this strategy, it probably doesn't matter too much because it's just the range damage that's that's what we're riding to victory here. Especially if you go spell heavy, what you can do is summon you guys like behind the line, have everyone converge on them, and then drop Rain of Death, Toxic Cloud, the Tornado on them as well. There definitely are multiple ways to win this game, but overstacking range does seem to be the way to go. But having some spells so that you can knock out big groups like that definitely help. That was an accident putting those archers back there. That was meant for chain lightning. So you can see that they are getting more and more through my line to my my ranged wave. Now, again, like I said, there are a whole bunch of constructs at the back there that still haven't come through. And you can still see that when I even just place guys behind, they stop and they swing and they turn around. Like, you can delay them even further. And all they're doing here is they're starting on this. Like, you can see how many they've killed, but they've got this many more to go. Like, they've barely dented it. It's just because they get to your archers doesn't mean you're necessarily losing the battle there. So again, we can do that, swing these guys back, isolate these guys in the front line. Put some guys there, you see everyone swing back. Everyone stops, everyone turns around, gives my guys a few extra seconds to pick them apart a little bit more. Yeah, we got a construct through, taking more of that damage. This does as well mean, with taking archers early, is you can see that my archers are still a relevant bit of this this offense. Like, they're not doing huge damage, they're doing think 6 damage a hit or so. But it does mean that they are doing something. Like if you talk about like your dwarven footmen and things, they're walking up to the front, they're getting you one shot. They may get one hit out, whereas the amount of damage that these guys will be putting up is significantly more. Wrong guys. You can see, I mean, you can hit when you sort of like make them converge on a summon. Put them all the way back, again to divide the line. Means that the guys can't actually reach them, so it takes them longer to go back and kill them. Two to go. So we can try and go back to see if we can isolate the dragon from everyone else. Success. Would be nice if all my constructs could get out there and actually participate in the fight. Poor guys. Alright, they're starting to move, so let's put guys back here to separate them again. So in the next wave, we're going to get 2 dragons again. And definitely trying to isolate them and separate them out would be an ideal way to try and approach them. Definitely getting a bit more into our wave now. Alright, so what we do is the 2 dragons are coming forward. We put this guy here, and we turn one of the 2 dragons around. We nicely clean out one of them real quick. Now, it doesn't mean the other dragon is still amongst all of this, but we at least have one of them down, because they are going to wreak havoc. You'll see that now too. So because he's out in front, it does mean that they will pick on him first, which is definitely good. But you can see there's a lot of guys now coming for the range guys. So definitely where we've been in more trouble than probably have been before. But as long as we can get to these guys getting targeted, I'd say we'll be alright. And it looks like we're getting there. So there you go. That's one way to beat impossible. So I guess for those that are curious, we can see how far we can take these guys. Based on that last effort, I would probably say not too much further. The good thing here, though, is that we've managed to get both dragons out front. So we might be able to pick off both of them before everyone else gets here. I was going to say before they sort of spread their targets. You can see they've stopped focusing on this guy. There's a march, he is slowly going down, but him already being out of the battle probably puts us in a better spot. I mean, be it these guys are all doing a bit more damage. Turn them all around. Turn them around. Would be handy to have stronger spells for this if you're trying to think of a way to approach that. You could spend it to get your level 4 spells, and then you could also spend it to upgrade the damage that the spells do. Like, it's also a very good way to win. So we probably look a bit better on that one than we did the previous one. Again, let's try and... It's when this guy gets stuck on that pillar that he seems to fall much further behind, but... go, got him. Alright, so we want to get these guys to pull everyone back, split that line, hopefully get these guys getting targeted a little bit. In a second we can do it again. Alright, I probably shouldn't have hit him as well. He would have been out in front otherwise. With each wave here, they are progressively getting stronger as well, if you're wondering what they are. You didn't have time to read that other page. So that's basically what this is. The unfortunate thing is that playing for more endgame rounds beyond 9 doesn't give you anything. Like, this isn't beneficial to... Alright, so here we're going to see some problems, because he's going to start, like, cleaving whole groups of guys. But there we go, he's cracked through the... Even though these guys aren't making it to that line of guys, it means that they're taking the fire that otherwise would go to someone else, so... Still very acceptable. Get those guys back. It's a pretty good gap we've got this time as well. Good. Certainly feel that a few more guys are making it through up here. As long as the focus can come down, that we knock out some of these guys. Like I said, these guys are the big problem. Let's get those guys back there. Try and get these guys in the limelight again. Yeah, get those dragons isolated. And you don't have to do the isolation on this wave alone. You can use that isolation on any wave to just try and split the front line of guys out. Especially if you're going ranged, it means that they can just bully out someone before before everyone else even joins the fight. You can see even these straggler guys are almost getting through to the line. We're definitely getting some tough bad guys now. Eagerly waiting for these summons to come through to pull these guys back. And you got a few of them there. We'll do it again. Again, it's going to be these constructs that are finally getting through that'll take enough of the focus that the other guys can get the work done. Let's see, he's gotten too slow there. But I reckon the fact that I've pulled him back could be the nail in the coffin here. I mean, it probably was already a nail in the coffin, but... So we'll send these guys down here because not so many of those guys will reach, and so it actually might take a few seconds longer for people to wander down there. And they're wandering away from this line of guys. Although we probably want them trapped behind it. Here we go, finally starting to work on this line of guys again. If these guys are dead, then the constructs actually have a better chance, I think, of staying alive. But obviously the other guys are going to wander past them, so they always seem to be the last guys standing. That skeleton did very well to last as long as he did. Alright, let's try and get him. Here we go. The ever-important dragon's dead. Not much interest from these guys down here. I guess it was... I don't know if it was because those other guys were still alive, I guess. You can see that divide, how you create like a C in between them. See that the chain lightning's not even killing those guys with one shot anymore. Say we might survive this one just because we've exposed these guys for a fairly long time. And these guys have to walk the whole map, and these guys can shoot the entire length of the map, so we're... Get ready, and go. And go again. That one dragon's really stayed up a fair bit. I mean, he's still the most far forward, so he's still going to take this, be the second guy to take a beating, but... Even if it's just a little group of guys that we can try and divide off here. And all of these guys are almost still up. I mean, even these guys down here are not going quietly. There we go, round 17. Try and pick off a few more guys just to... There we go, and that's pretty much it. That's the way that I beat Impossible. Ranged guys and focusing on more having numbers than having the guys that you have upgraded seems to be the way to go. Any questions or comments, feel free to check them below. And until next time, catch you later. Yeah.